I'll say that.
We're on. Hello. Welcome to our RAD beta stream. When is this leaving beta, Lee? Very soon, right?
Monday is the last day for our closed beta.
All right. Well, we thought we should celebrate, play some RAD before it disappears and then reappears in all its glory. I'm Greg Rice, VP of BizDev. This is Lee Petty, creator of RAD, project lead. Yeah.
Currently hungover.
Oh no! Uh-oh.
Not related to this.
Been a long road to ship. Yeah. We got Kevin Johnson, who's playing. He is producer on the project and the best RAD player I know. We'll see how this goes.
The best, but maybe not the raddest.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
There's a certain level of flourish and panache that Kevin lacks.
Yeah.
I'm really good at that,
true.
and then I last
Fine.
a very short amount of.
Yeah. Kevin has lots of practice with his streaming after a whole week at E3, playing in front of thousands of people, so this should go well. And then we got Mr. James Spafford over here on the computer.
On the internet.
Yeah, answering your questions.
Yeah.
So
if you have questions, just pop them in the air, and if they make sense, then I'll pass them on.
And if they're totally surreal, he'll pass them on.
That's true.
It's just we don't want them kind of make sense.
I'm waiting for the one that just I'm in the middle of playing and then the question comes and I'm just like, wait, what? And then that's what kills me.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna jump in at the very beginning here.
Yeah, that's
Alright,
rad.
But we could skip story scenes and stuff.
All right, no
People can
story.
experience that.
We're just
No
gonna
story.
jump in.
What
Get
is
that
the
on your
story,
own.
Lee?
Yeah, maybe Lee can just
tell
set it
us
up.
The story.
Story. Well, I don't want to spoil all the secrets, but it is a game set in a post-apocalyptic world. Post. You've got two apocalypses, and you're playing a character, and you get to select what you want your character to look like. It's a young character, teen character that belongs to a town that sort of lived. And look at we've unlocked.
got some unlocks here.
We have a lot of the unlocks here, so you can see some
yeah.
of the cool characters you get later.
Do we have a pre-order bonus?
We do not have the pre-order characters currently unlocked in here, do we?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
No.
But they
Yeah,
are
we'll
pretty
something
awesome.
back.
But they do
Yeah,
exist.
they'll send back. They do exist,
Yeah.
and they are playable, and they're really cool. Anyways, you're gonna pick a teen who's going to volunteer to be remade by the town elder.
Who should we pick here? Who should we pick?
Yeah, who should we pick? I don't know. Which ones do we?
Well, I
like?
haven't seen a lot of these later ones, so those
Yeah.
are fun. Maybe not one of the starting characters.
Yeah.
So,
That's a good one. I haven't seen
I
that.
like
do you freestyle?
Yeah.
Let's do
All
freestyle.
right. We just do no quirk because we have.
Oh,
all
we
the
can talk
quirks
about. We
available.
can show some of them.
Yeah.
So quirks they come up in daily challenge, not under the player control, to kind of mix it up. But also you unlock them playing in the single player game. And if you've want to a little challenge, you want to kind of change the way you play, you can play with these. They're pretty cool. Some of them are kind of trade-off, where they maybe benefit you more in one way. Some of them are just hard. Like there's one that you just
This
don't,
guy.
the demade one where you cannot absorb RAD. So you basically have to finish the game with just items, which Kevin did. He proved it can be done. It can be done.
You're crazy, man.
But it is very challenging.
It was tough. I'm not gonna lie. It was the heart rate was up a lot during that run.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe let's start with no perks.
We'll go. All right.
No quirks. No perks or quirks.
Perks are for those other games
Yeah.
that believe everything should be good. A quirk is like real life. It's like
never know.
most of us don't have perks. We have quirks. Like Greg is exceedingly tall, which is generally a perk until we fly together to E3 and he looks like a broken spider stuffed into the seat. He's like this and
Door frames are.
So
a
I got
problem.
I got all the bats unlocked.
He's got some juicy bats. So we have the Death Gobblers. Always good. I like the Blast Wand.
I like the last one too.
Blast Wand's good.
These are also unlocked throughout the game, right? So this is something that.
Oh, we can do the Mega Leg.
Do the Mega Leg.
So the Mega Leg is an edible bat, and as your character gets down to the last points of their health, they'll auto bite out the Mega Leg, and so it gets kind of weaker. You get to chew on it a few times.
Yeah, get a little
There's actually a
health
really
back.
disturbing origin story for this. We won't spoil. It's in kind of the game story arc.
I do want to go because since everything's upgraded.
Oh, yeah.
Downside to getting rid of the
Biff
original
Biff
bat?
gets a hot tub eventually, and I just think this was just a fun thing
Yeah.
that we were able to give Biff when you unlock enough
All right. So
things.
where are we? Explain.
So we're in
the
town.
setting
We're
here.
in town. We're in the player's town in the current timeline known as the Now, and it's a fully upgraded town for the most part here. I think Kevin saved this, so you can see that the armory run by Biff, who's the least combat effective person in town, who runs the armory, and it's been upgraded, so you've got all these bats to select, and there's a lot of just visual upgrades. Like like Biff is now more prominent member of the town, so he gets more neon. And Shermie runs the shop over there. You can see that you start the game, she's got A inventory. Under here, she's got 5 now, and some other cool things. Inventory's been expanded, some really juicy stuff.
Can't buy
But
any of this stuff.
we're not starting off with a lot of
We're not
things.
getting any of this stuff.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
We'll ignore all that.
And then
Yeah, we've got Mac. Mac is the bank, so he's super upgraded here as well, and it comes with all sorts of additional abilities for using. It's a speak and spell like.
It's spell and speak.
It's
yeah.
it's
Not trademark.
yeah, exactly.
spiel and spec, if you will.
It's been strapped to a variety of computers. Oh, look, even this thing is upgraded.
Yeah, even the.
Which says, according to this, that Kevin has done 50 runs and only 1 successful run in this save. Which means he probably cheated to unlock all this.
There's some cheats that happen
cheats.
here,
Yeah,
but
some
it's
cheats
fine.
happen,
But
yeah.
hey, that means also look at this farm. Look at this
I think it's a
farm.
fully upgraded
Wow.
farm. You can, there's a little farm game where you can kind of bring some things back to town and plant it, and they grow stuff. And I will say that these are, so you can start the game off by plucking one of these. They get regenerated. Oh, look, an actual Pac-Man arcade cabinet over there.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Hey,
Nice.
what's up, Namco?
Look at that. Aha, that is genuine.
And it's got actual real sounds from the cabinets in there too.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to talk about these guys. I'm just going to run past them and get into the world.
All right. So where are we going?
We're gonna go to a randomly generated wasteland, as we call it, the fallow in the game level. This is the cracked land, so this is the
The menders were gone for
it's
now.
the easy level, right? Once you've unlocked all this stuff.
Can you mutate into Pac-Man?
Not that we're willing to say.
All right, so maybe give us a little bit of background about what the board game is all about here.
So, the fundamental idea is that you've been remade to absorb the RADs, the toxins from the world, as they call them, the RADs. And that bar at top is your RAD meter. And as you defeat muties, and there are a few other things you can do to get RADs, your bar fills up. When it gets full, you randomly mutate and get an exo mutation. And the goal for us was to have a broad variety of these mutations that change the way you play the game. So we're, instead of it's not really a role-playing game where you're building a particular character class, it's about kind of ultimately building up skill to kind of deal. Oh, you got.
Oh,
yeah,
that guy bursted up. He
Yeah.
just, wow.
He hit the eyeball plant and.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
he
he
stole
took
my
your
money.
He took your money.
That jerk.
Go get him. Oh, look at, he's like, I'm a barrel, just move along. So the best part is when they steal your money and you accidentally ground pound them off the edge of the cliff and you just lose your stuff.
Yeah. That is the thing that happened. Hey, thanks for dying over there,
Yeah,
guy.
that guy's like, yeah. So anyways, yes, you'll mutate, but you're also leaving behind this little, this little grass trail. That's our kind of transformation system.
I do want to show that
All right.
that explosion was rough enough that I actually had to take a bite of my leg when it comes around here.
So had you not had your edible bat, you might have been dead right at the start. There.
Yeah, see, look, so I had
gives
to
a
take
little
a little bite there, and it can
man.
get all the way down to the bone. We'll see if I can avoid that. Or
Down to the
if I-
bone. That's actually our high-level design goal. We want the player to get down to the bone.
Get down to the bone.
There's a wasteland merchant there, Eli. Maybe we'll visit
Yeah, I'll
him
get
and
back
have
to
more
him.
money.
I don't have a lot of money.
All right, so these little things here, these sort of strange formations, you also can kind of pull rads out of transform. So I mean, the idea is that there are some benefits to transformation, and it kind of lets you know where you go when you see the grass. You run faster when you're on it, make retraversal better. Stuff grows in it that you can pluck for your farm or to ingest during your run. There's a lot of things, and just the thematic idea that it's almost a side effect of your mutation is that you're kind of turning the world into something a little bit more verdant.
So we just got our first mutation here.
Yeah. So we can. You want to show people your notebook as well? Real quick?
Oh, yeah.
So we have a few different options for player, but what is the notebook? And the notebook will show you what you currently have on your character at the moment. So if you want more detail about anything you get, you can go here and read about it. But yeah, so he's Kevin is now prickly, which is.
the game is basically making a value judgment of my personality,
Yeah.
which is fine. I'm comfortable. I had to take another bite.
So,
It
yeah,
did
so
not-
he's trying to do a pro tip there. So the idea is that if you get into this toxic pool, generally speaking, unless you have certain mutations, you take damage. But there's a window, and you see there's some loot at the bottom of those pools usually. And so if you jump in and jump out at just the right time, you can get that loot without taking damage. So it's kind of a choice the player can make if they're comfortable doing that or not. So the prickly mutation is a melee mutation. A lot of our mutations are ranged, but this one is actually a pretty powerful one. You can kind of do it while you're doing your melee attacks, or you can jump by and jump next to an enemy and do it, and it can kind of enemies all around you. So it's got some advantages over the melee. It also gives you some if you have your pricks extended and an enemy runs into you, they'll take some contact damage. You'll still potentially get damage, but it kind of gives you like a tiny bit of a deterrent defense there. This is a lore item here. So kind of hidden throughout the game, we've got these items left over from the second civilization Helleminders, and you get little bits of backstory. And also, as you find those, if you go back to town and talk to the elder, he's got a little more information on each one of those lore items that can randomly come up in conversation after that. So his dialogue and expands as well. If you're into that sort of story thing, we try and keep a soft touch. Some people are much more into just the action side of the game, which is great. But if you want to go spelunking for lore and backstory, we've got a little hidden stuff for you. So that there is a respirator. And Kevin's guts have been remade as well, so you can activate these Minder machines. And this one, once it's activated, will kick off some transformation growth, and a laser shoots out of its mouth, which is where all good lasers are coming from. And it kind of points the way forward to get off this procedural level. So we keep like the high level goal of every procedural level very understandable, because there's so much other chaos in the game, which is just find those respirators, activate them, and when you've activated enough of them, their laser power will open the doors to the way forward on the next level. So you can see that it's marked in the mini-map as well. You can zoom in the mini-map, you can scroll around it, you can make it bigger, so if you want to kind of help find your way forward. But yeah, you can see that he's opened up one of them, but it's still saying, you need one more. There's also a little icon in the top right that says, you've got one of two. You got to find another one.
Yeah, we can get this rad snack.
So rad snack. So this is a snack that will give you more rad, and so they can help you mutate faster. And since a lot of the power curve comes from your mutations, if you want to spend your money on that, you might become more powerful earlier in the game.
Always mutate.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know what happens to your mutations.
The Menders
when
built
you
the
go
Great
back to
Underground to
town.
connect everyone. But
You keep all of your mutations. You may find that based on your look at that. So that's a cap. There's another shop, but he's not connected. So you may find that people comment on your mutations in town. There are other communities that you find throughout the game, and some of them, their behavior or the cost of things they say may change based on your mutations. There's all little hidden reactions. Some of them are just fun comments, but kind of ultimately we're playing with the idea that if you're becoming less human, as the world is becoming a better place, if you will. And some of the townspeople deal with that greatly, and some people just can't help but their reactions to your appearance. You find in the world too, we've got another group of outcasts that you might find that are sort of folks who've been heavily mutated. Perhaps teens from other towns that have kind of formed their own little commune out there, and they've got their own perspective on mutation as well.
Truffle pig.
Yeah, so those machines give you what we call our endo mutations, those little smaller ones. You can get any number of those, and this one helps him find buried treasure, if you will, hidden fruit underneath the cracked wasteland, which will grow in your transformation, but it's a little hard to spot, so it kind of helps you find it, which is great because they tend to give you health, and health can be scarce. So we found another respirator. This one's out on an island, and we connected to the island through this underground system left over from the Minder civilization called the Great Underground. You can go back through it, or you can quick teleport between any ends that you find, because sometimes there'll be 3 or 4 entrances, and it kind of lets you quick travel through the world. Now, if you want to scrape, you can.
No, I'm just gonna jump into it. We're just gonna
go to the first mini boss.
Right. And how many mutations can you stack? Can you overwrite them, respec, discard ones you don't like, etc.?
Yeah, so for exomutations,
My favorite guy.
you can
This
have
is not my
up to
favorite guy.
3 at once, and those are those all are associated with active button press ability, so we kind of have them mapped by default to the shoulders, although you can kind of remap them during the gameplay if you want. And then for the endo mutations, there's no limit. And in fact, if you get many endo mutations can stack as well, so you can get, if you get the same endo mutation for some of them, like let's say you get a crit chance up endo mutation, you can get it stacked. We do have various ways for you to change your external mutations. A lot of them are based, again, they're kind of still tied into the randomness of the world, but there are machines you find later that let you swap them out or level them up. You can also potentially lose them in the third world and get replaced with something you may not want. So there's a lot of different things that can happen to those as the game goes on.
Loading.
Look at it, you passed that, no
Yeah,
problem.
successful run.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
And
a
you got full health.
Hey, again.
You did take some bites of your bat.
I did have to take some bat bites. It's true. I had a little help, but again, it's the synergy between my prickly
Did you say
personality.
synergy?
I did, because I'm a producer. That's what we say sometimes.
Maybe talk a little bit about the procedural worlds and how that stuff works.
Yeah, so we're still in the first biome, and there's 2 levels per biome. And once you switch biomes, all the enemies and visuals and traps and loot change. But this one we're still in the cracklands, but we have a lot of variety. So sometimes you can see here we've got some mountain shapes. Our first level was pretty flat, but this one looks like there's some mountain shapes in it, which can affect a lot of things depending on your mutations. And we also have undergrounds. So you can also see at the top of that level up there's a little hatch in the ground. And that hatch can lead to secrets. Now, he can't probably get up there right now. Some of these you can kind of get up there. Some of them you might need mutations.
Maybe you can go on those bones.
You might be able to get up on the bones. So sometimes you just have to. Sometimes there he goes. So now, see that also that little green effect on the ground. It says truffle pig, showing him where there was a fruit for him to pluck, a drupe, so he can pick that up and use it if he wants. So that's a bomb shelter, and he spent a key to open it. And this is like a little loot cave. And let's see what's in here. There's a bunch of different things that can be in here.
Those might have to
There you go. Some tapes. Our currency are cassette tapes. Because why not?
Ancient artifacts.
Ancient artifacts. They're left over from the first civilization known as the ancients.
Well, you know what?
Are you gonna do
Spoiler.
it? Here's a spoiler. Guess what? This particular bomb shelter has a hidden wall in it, and that is a what we call an uncommon chest. Takes 2 keys, and he opened it, and he got a manure spreader.
Oh, that's good.
That will increase the efficacy of his happy trail, as we call it, the trail of grass behind him, and that'll do a couple things. So it'll make it a little bit bigger, so that it's more likely to grow things in the ground. But it also will increase his speed buff he gets when running on it. So overall, it'll make his movement faster.
Oh man,
geez.
mutation.
You are now a Dungeness crab. So that's it's kind of a defensive one. We don't have a lot of defensive mutations, but it also has its own traversal fill and core, just in terms of how you move changes a little bit. So it's great for knocking guys off cliffs too.
Bill the Cat asks, did you ever consider calling a manure spreader the shit poster?
Trust me when I tell you there are many names I considered for many things that due to public decency did not make it into the game.
I believe it.
Yeah, no, I really can't even mention most of the names, but yes, sure. We sure did. I don't think maybe that specific variant, but I do enjoy it. So this is a
trap.
He's sort of randomly found in an alpha arena, and so these are again pretty optional. But if you are awesome like Kevin, you can choose to go into these battles, and if you take out an alpha, you're going to get the reward is usually a split heart. So you can see he's got 1 split heart. There are 3 pieces, and the other ones are 2. So if he takes this guy out, he'll have 2. There you go.
Crab legs really helping with that one.
Yeah, it did. It really kind of defeated that guy's spin attack. So now look at that, 2 3-piece hearts.
Bill the Cat says that he wants to be awesome like you, Kevin.
Take some practice.
It does. I've had to play this game more than once or twice over the course of development.
So one of the things that we have, the cliffs as well, if you fall off the cliffs as a player, you're going to take damage. The bats will teleport you back up, and take a little bit of life away, and different bats will take different amounts of life. There are artifacts you can find that will eliminate the cost of the life altogether. If you knock creatures off those edges, that can be very effective because it's an insta-kill for them. So sometimes you can get a big tough guy and knock him off the edge. However, you will get the rads for that, but if any loot drops they would have, you don't get. So it's kind of a tactical choice. Is to like, I don't really want to fight this evolved guy. I can knock him off the edge, but maybe you miss out on, like in this case, you have missed out on a piece of meat in cassette. Because mutants carry meat inside them. All things carry meat inside them.
Juicy steaks. Juicy steaks.
Delicious.
There is a herbivore mutation that you can get, and a carnivore. Those are Indian mutations that come up later in the game that could affect your desire to have meat.
There's a cave, and I want to get a key so that I can.
So there's an interesting tip for people. Pro tip: you'll see these crates throughout the world, and they're destructible, and because they have loot in them usually. But you can kind of knock them around, and oftentimes they're near ledges. So if you explore before destroying the crate, you might find that you can get to areas you didn't know that that sometimes randomly has cool stuff in it.
Where are you seeing the cave?
Oh, we passed it earlier.
We passed it earlier.
Yeah.
If I get a key, I will go back to it, but.
You really need to have double jump with the crab legs.
Oh, I said
wow.
something.
I know.
Spicy.
Everyone's gonna watch me eat now.
Get off the cliff.
I do.
Sent that guy.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Okay, there's a lot going on here.
Behind there.
I'd say another thing is cover and height are kind of a big part of this game too. That a lot of games from this camera don't really have elevation as part of the core gameplay, but because you can we're not locking your rooms. If you just run around, you can get quite a trail of enemies after you, and so using that's another little pro tip. There's these little cacti all throughout World 1 that are orange and green, and they do not have loot, but they're destructible. However, there is a very uncommon purple cacti that some players may find that does have loot, and they'll even sometimes produce health potions. So there's another hidden thing for people.
Secrets.
Yeah.
I've been debating how much of the secret stuff I expose here.
Yeah, I don't want to tell too much, right?
Yeah. Well, because let me just say there is another part of the crab leg mutation that I am not gonna do, even though it is super useful. I will endure without. Although I will have to. Okay. See, this would be a time where I'd want to use it. But that's okay.
He almost took some fire damage there. You were burrowed under the ember snoot when he died. And when they die, they drop fire. So this is a one. Someone's asked about mutation. So this device, which we don't explain to the player, but we'll spoil it for you. If Kevin wants to, if he uses one of those external mutations, it'll remove it and give him a random new one. So if Kevin didn't like his pricks,
Get rid of your prick.
he could get rid of his. Yeah, get rid of your pricks, Kevin.
I don't want to. Fine. This is for the stream. For the stream. Fine.
Oh my God! And now you have armoring.
All right,
There you
armoring.
go.
That's fine. But also, it took health. It takes health to do that. It's not
does.
free.
Yeah, being electrified and having your guts remade it's a little painful. That should just be logical for people. You shouldn't have to explain that. I see a purple cacti protruding from the train.
I do too. Oh, well, there's another respirator just hanging out over there.
Gotta figure that out. This would be nice to have some wings.
Yeah.
That
Well,
would be good. You could fly over.
there are a lot of ways that the traversal can open up for you. So if you had wings, you could flap across, or if you had beast mode, you could charge across that gap. If you had some of the walk, speed up, internal mutations, you could probably run, jump across it. If you had high tops, you could double jump across that gap. There's a lot of different combinations that can open up some of these paths.
What was back there? Pink. Oh, he's like,
Oh, teleporter.
I was trying to teleport, yeah.
So sometimes these interiors will have teleporters, which will usually just sort of speed up your traversal.
That's why. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I like it on the trigger, so you can remap the mutations.
Tell people how that works, Kevin.
Yeah, so if you hold left on the D-pad, you get this thing, select a slot to remap, and it'll do my armoring, and then the new slot. So I could actually switch those two, and then now my armoring would be on the left, and my crab legs would be on the right. But I liked it the way it was.
I mean, it is your left arm.
It is, but I still... My trigger finger is my right finger. All right.
Look how fast you run on that happy trail.
Oh yeah, and now I got so
like a
much of
happy
it because of my my manure spreader.
Yeah.
I'm spreading it just all over the place.
I got 3 respirators in this level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We chose not to open that.
What do we got?
So usually well, always, not usually, the first level in a biome will require 2 respirators, and the second will require 3. It's a little bit bigger, a little more challenging. That guy, you were
running away from me.
intimidating that guy.
Close to our Stream Lord all over him and dug him with that
Yeah, maybe.
power now.
Oh, there it was. Got the key.
Wow, that was a lot of tapes too.
Let's get in the cave, right here.
All right, so caves are somewhat hidden.
Oh wait.
They show up in some of the later levels, including this one, and they require a key to open.
Dude.
And caves in general are a little more challenging than walking around outside, but some of them have some pretty cool secrets in them.
They look cool
I never
too.
heard
He looks like
much
he
about
lives in a
the
cave,
caves,
too.
'cause
Like
those are my
This is where I feel like I'm at home. So, you know.
So the caves are filled with mutants who rarely see light, sort of like game developers. But we call them dank. So that's a dank amphibian in there. There's an evolved amphibian. We've got a few other guys, and there's some eggs. So you can sort of see where they
And they dodge, which is
procreate,
annoying.
and you can destroy their eggs for tapes.
As one does.
Yeah. There's a dank mollusk.
You guys are tricky.
Yeah, those guys are. We have a version of them. They're armored from the front, plus they do damage from the front. And that one in the caves also leaves behind a toxic trail.
Oh, get some hot sauce.
Camera angle to them, or is it voice?
You can change the camera distance, but not the angle. In the options, we let the player there's a slider, so you can kind of move it in or out, depending on your play style. Some players like it a little closer because it makes it's just a little more satisfying to look at. But some people really like it pulled out for just have a little more situational awareness around you.
And it moves around a little bit on its own too.
It does. It does kind of move around a bit, and we need all the buttons really for all of our gameplay. So we didn't want to start throwing additional camera management gameplay and this sort of high stakes combat into it. Which is why we're not exposing that.
How do you feel the beast is gone? And what?
Yeah. I was like,
The what? The what's gone?
The beta. It's a not appropriate question. The beta has gone great. We've had a lot of feedback and a lot of requests, and people have been posting in to the forums, and we've tried to address as many as we can. And we've had some folks who stream quite a bit, and that's been really helpful just to watch people play and see how they're playing, both for spotting bugs, but also just kind of seeing what they're doing and the choices they're making, and looking for trends that we can make better and more interesting for the player. It's been great. Yeah. I'd like to do it in every game. It's really hard to do it in an adventure game because otherwise you're like, oh, I just watched somebody live stream an adventure game and spoil every puzzle. So when we're not making adventure games, it's really great.
Yeah,
If you're
different every time.
Alright. Watching this and you're new to the beta, feel free to stream all weekend. It's called a closed beta, but we're letting people stream.
Well, we'll just close in the sense that, invites. We weren't weren't able to just hand it out to everybody.
Have you guys recognized and been able to find some pro players yet? Folks that are always kind of rising the daily challenge.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
There's a bunch of them. I think
Oh, you want me to actually name names?
Yeah.
If you go to the leaderboards, you'll see them. I don't actually want
Are they better than us?
Well, I don't
Are
wanna
they
play
beating
this-
you and Jared and everything yet?
one of our most consistent streamers who quite often does. There's a few of them,
Yeah.
so I don't want to feel anyone left out. But if it's pronounced T-Narg or it's Narg, he streams a whole lot and has a lot of good feedback all the time, and he does crazy stuff too, which is good.
there was the one where he got one of the World 3 enemies to land on top of a respirator after attacking it, which was very interesting to watch.
Yeah, I'm
I
mostly
saw the
curious if
truffle
people
pig.
are already beating us on the daily challenge list. Then you're gonna
Well,
have to
the
do a
real
competition.
goal is to beat Gabe, who's the lead designer. And when you see him on the leaderboard, that's really all we want to do is just make sure that Gabe is not the top of the leaderboard. If that happens, then we think it's a good day.
What we do with Jared, who's the character artist on the team, who also plays the game quite a bit, is that we look and see what moves he's using to exploit, and then we change the balance.
That is true.
It is kind of
a
true,
lot
like-
of a lot of our balancing is coming from, wow, Jared, you are just cheesing it up like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Let's take that away.
Yeah, he was really cheesing the spin attack on the bat, and so we changed the timing on that recently.
Yeah. So anybody who's been playing the closed beta and is not a fan of the fact that we have since nerfed the spin attack, you can thank Jared.
All right, we found another respirator.
Yeah.
This one's got some.
This one's got a couple of evolved member
Oh wait.
Oh, he's mutating.
Nice.
Oh, he
More
got
crabs.
upgraded. Launch into a jump when you burst. Use L to aim your lead. So you can kind of jump out at an angle, which can really help if you got people near cliffs and stuff, or if you want to like go from a burrow to a jump kick. Or I don't know if we officially. I guess we call it jump kick. We often call it like karate kick. Even though it's totally not an officially recognized martial arts move.
The crab karate kick.
Yeah.
Legal
You got a lot of cash. We got to find a store.
I do
He's avoiding the fire there.
want to get burned.
Maybe you should pause for a bit so people can see how beautiful you look. Like
I-
jump in the air, let us see your face.
paused.
Look at this.
How do you hide that menu?
Majestic. I didn't know that crabs could be majestic.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an X button to hide the UI when you're in the pause menu. So if you just want to admire how weird you look, you can see more of your bone too, gnaw at your meat.
Being weird. That looks totally normal.
Yeah, this is
She does look rather nonplussed
Still
about
has
it.
a head.
That's true.
Hair is
for now.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It'd be hard to do your hair with like an arm around and crab legs. I guess you got one good hand.
Yeah. I
Can we
mean,
see your map? I'm wondering where this last one is.
yeah, I think I have to go through another
the purple underground, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this little guy's just out here, right?
That help, man.
Why don't we make a decision to subdivide the hearts more rather than doing just, you know.
we do both.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you fight a real boss, so far we've only fought the mini boss, you will get a full new heart. It was a, the design answer to that is it gave us more granularity in terms of the types of things we reward the player. There's no tool to balance it. There are other ways to get full hearts, and we're not going to mention those secret ways. That other than just being boss, and there are other ways to subdivide your heart other than being mini bosses. So.
And there's other types of hearts.
And there are other types of hearts as well. We have, both temporary, as in like, don't ever regenerate, toxic hearts and fire hearts and battle hearts that protect you against certain damage types.
no, be careful.
Kevin is.
Oh boy. That's all right. I got some hot sauce, and you can see I have eaten the entire bat.
Yeah.
The bat is gone.
We gotta see your nub when you're done with killing.
Yeah.
Let's look at your nub. Look at that! Look at that little thing.
You bony nub.
Yeah.
Does it do the same damage as a normal bat?
Not anymore. It does a little bit extra when it's full, and then as you have to eat it.
It does
So now
less.
it's
Does it
basically-
regenerate?
No.
It does not.
Never?
So I am
Wow.
just.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Guess what he
dude.
found? He found a 3-key chest. Those are really uncommon, and they always have juicy goodness. But he only has 2 keys.
Oh my lord.
I need to go.
So you can't go back to town and change out your bat now.
You can go back to town between levels.
Yeah.
So if edible bat takes a little while to unlock. You've got to finish a few endings of the game. You can get that extra perk if you want to go back to town and switch it out. There's the key. You found the key just when you needed it. It's almost like we orchestrated. We didn't, but let's see what happens.
Unlocked.
Okay, so speaking of extra hearts,
Wonderful.
what happens when you eat that, Kevin? You split a heart. So there's other ways, like I said, to split hearts other than beating alphas, and there's one of them.
So split hearts are just as powerful as one whole extra.
Well, you
heart,
get 2
except they
more hit
can't
points
split.
when you get a whole new heart.
Let's see.
Yeah. But you can split them more than 3 pieces too. So it just really depends on how many things you have on your own.
Do we have any plans for physical release on any platforms?
We'd have to coordinate with our charming publisher, Bandai Namco, about that. But I'm a big fan of physical releases. I like physicality. I like the art. I like making art for them. So I hope we do. I hope we do. It'd be great.
I'm forgetting about my armor.
But it won't be part of the initial launch, I guess, if that's the answer. On August 20th, it'll be digital only. But
Okay.
I'd love to do it.
August 20th is coming soon.
August 12th.
I'll be here before you know
It's
it.
2 months from
Are you done yet,
yesterday.
Kevin?
No, I don't know what you want from me.
You're supposed to be a pro.
It looks like this is not the
Is it-
correct exit.
It's the procedural world, procedural nature.
You know, there are
Which one I
artifacts that
belong
you
for?
can buy and find that would help you know exactly where these things are.
That's true.
Specifically, there's a puzzle cube, which is quite good for that.
Oh man, we might need it. Looks like there's not one over here either.
I think one of our streamers is watching us on our stream. Grant T? Doesn't that ring a bell? for
Yeah,
you guys?
that's
Yes. Hello.
That is.
Hello.
That's-
Hello. Greetings.
Thanks for
Welcome to
streaming.
the beta.
Yeah, so this
See, it
one
sounds
has,
better when you
Alright,
say it like
It
that.
does.
this one.
It does.
All right.
This one has 4 exits, or 3, I guess. But
And
we
then
found-
I'll get a
Still
quick
in
task.
Still doesn't have it. What the?
He says he's played 95 hours.
Wow.
720.
Wow. Thank you very much. That's amazing. 95 hours.
Okay.
maybe out of a burrow. There you go, got it.
A borough like in New York. Is that what you mean?
Well, if we're talking
Okay,
about
so no
English
shops.
accents, which I adore.
Well, we would say borough. Or borough. There's
Yeah.
two different
You'd also
boroughs.
say Arkansas though instead of Arkansas.
We would. That's the logical.
Gosh, that's awful.
Well, we wouldn't. That's the logical way of reading that word, given the state that it's
Right,
also
right.
named.
Let's check this map out again.
Yeah,
What's going
I
on?
Have you been in this entry?
Come on, Kevin. Maybe we should get some
Did I
tips
miss
from
something in this
Grant.
underground?
This
Grant.
is so
it's a direct-
it looks like you spelunked this one. Pull up
Yeah.
your over map.
let's
Let's open your over map.
What? Where are we missing?
Maybe
here?
to the left of that purple.
Looks like the upper right to me, right next to the Alpha Arena above it. There's a little bridge or
Okay.
something.
All right.
Maybe. Now look, you get to read traverse fast-ish, because you are a crab on your happy trail. Bum, dun, dun. It's a little. We need some music. We should have happy trail music.
Hang on.
Music's awesome.
Music is awesome. Mr. David Earl.
Oh, you found. Look
Yeah.
at that. So his truffle pig clued him to that there was something that would grow out of his
Dark meat.
wake. Where'd he come up there? Oh, we already got that one.
Yeah, we
didn't
got that one.
Maybe
And
to the
then,
left of the purple underground.
They're normally not this hard to find, are they?
It's true. We got the
every once in a while.
seed That just
Seed of Doom. Well, I mean, I was hoping you'd kind of look foolish, so.
well, mission accomplished.
Yes. There's also, if you keep going down, there's a little nugget sticking out down there that could be a bridge. Straight down.
Which one? Straight down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It may not be, but it also looks like there's to the left, lower left, there's an unexplored corner.
Yeah.
And quite often, pro players will learn that they are quite often in corners. So if you're trying to optimize your run speed, go look for corners first. No, not there.
Not there.
Like up,
Yeah, but
up and
over.
over.
Yeah.
Like over there to the left is where I bet it is.
Oh yeah, it looks like there's some.
Look right.
Oh, yep,
Yeah, that's it. There
Yeah,
it is.
see,
Look at
in
you
a corner
guys.
as I suggested.
You probably put it there, Liam.
Yes, I probably did.
Josh would like to know if there are any characters or weapons where excessive hair provides a combat advantage.
Well, as I found out yesterday during our company had harassment prevention training, which is mandatory for all companies in California, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But I actually found out in California, well, nowhere is hair a protected class, so you can make fun of people for their hair.
Oh, and that's not
unless it's associated with a religious thing. So, so yes, we could do that, and we haven't. That's where I was going with this. Yeah. But no, we
Man,
don't.
no
We
shops,
don't, and it is a great
no nothing.
idea.
I don't want to. Oh
always
man,
trying to
no
push the
keys.
boundaries.
No nothing. This is.
What's that?
This is a rough state.
So you're gonna go. You're gonna go fight. He's gonna fight a real
Fight a real
boss. That's not a
boss.
rough state. Like you're fully healthy. You have.
But no key. Oh, it's all right. I just got to be on my game. It's all right.
So the
that
reason why
boomerang,
Kevin
use
is
that
wanting a
boomerang.
key to explain it to everyone at home is because you're gonna fight Feculord.
Thank you, Lord.
So-
All right, let's do it.
Is because almost always inside of boss arenas there is a special chrome skull chest that will have loot. It always requires a key to open, and it will have loot that there's one in the upper right corner there, and it'll have loot that will help heal you. So if you save your keys for boss arenas, you can use them as an emergency health, potentially emergency health. But Kevin has no extra key because he opened that chest to get his split heart.
These skulls might have some though, right?
Yes, there is also meat inside skulls, as again logic would dictate, and then even if those skulls are hundreds of years old, they act as a little anaerobic condition for the meat to jerkify, like it's like a jerky brain, a mutant jerky brain. Yeah. So, anyways, yes, there could be that, but Kevin cannot. He doesn't get to see what's in the chrome skull this time.
Not. Every now and again, you get a teleporter in them, which is actually one of my favorite surprises to get in the middle of a boss fight.
Every once in a while, you get a teleporter consumable, which you zap around the arena and confuse the bosses. I also noticed how finely sculpted the buttocks is on the Fecula. Oh, you killed him before you could see it. That was all Jared. And Derek.
Ooh, red snack too.
All right, so you got. There's a full heart, and a full stack.
RAD stack. This is the triple.
Oh, so he's definitely gonna get a third mutation on this. Let's see.
Oh, this is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites. Chronobellum. Slow down time.
So the Chronobellum is what we call a classic hindbrain, which is to say it is a brain that hangs off the posterior. Now, the argument would be, as a crab, where in fact is the crab butt? And I don't know. I don't know. It could be anywhere.
If anyone did, it'd be you.
You would think.
You know,
but I'm not versed in crab husbandry.
With all these tapes, I'm gonna go back to town.
We're gonna go back to town.
Yeah. And bat. Get bat.
And
you're gonna try a different bat.
Good shout.
So that's the thing. That's an option we leave to the player, which is between each level you can go back to the town, not in daily challenges, but in the normal run. And why go back to town? You say, well, you could swap out bats if you've unlocked them. If you know that, for example, if there's a bat that's better at a certain level, or works better with certain mutation combo, or you could buy something from Shermie's shop.
Actually, you know what?
Or you can do the Sword of Rejection. This is named after my my dating acumen in high school, the Sword of Rejection. So this it'll actually let you reflect shots.
Yeah.
But you can buy another key at least.
I can buy a key. I'm getting a laser pal. I'm getting a little buddy.
Oh, do it.
Come along with me.
Pal.
Look at that.
And so
I no longer have the manure spreader, but that's okay.
But he's got a little laser pal. Yeah.
But you know what?
The shit poster is not happening.
No, but,
no, I mean it should.
Let's also get a boom box.
Maybe as like, can we do a bonus where I unlock like an adult mode just for names?
I think that's good.
All right.
Boom box.
It's going to increase the number of tapes that'll appear when I break things.
So you notice he has 2 artifacts. So the way it works is you can have 1 green or Ancients era artifact and 1 purple or Minder era artifact. And different biomes make them a little easier to sell or find or not. So now we're in the second world, the Hollow Forest, which gets a little trickier in this one. There's a more, we gotta look at his laser pal shot that guy in the face.
Shoot him.
And the guy still blew up. That is a bombphibian. They have explosive brains, and so they get up close to you and their brain goes boom. Those are a bramble. If you run into those, you'll take damage, but you can beat them and they go away. And you can also kite enemies into them and they'll take some damage. So this level is a little trickier in that the respirators are all located in undergrounds. But to access the undergrounds, you actually have to activate all the power nodes to open the door. And there's three per door. And each time you activate one of the Minders have built laser turret defense systems, and they activate, so it becomes a little trickier. There's lots of fire here.
There's lots of fire in World 2.
We're in kind of a night level as well, so it's a little trickier to see. Not too bad. Not for a pro like Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's your 3rd tower, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, so then
Any plans for multiplayer?
I would love to do a co-op version of this game, but it will not be in by launch.
Yeah, one of the disadvantages of the crab legs is that it's not as nimble, so you get to this part where you got some electrified floor and you gotta be real careful.
That was something that we got a lot of feedback on from in the early closed beta. We didn't have as much of a visual tell there, and we also had a higher percentage of double length electoral halls. They're still in there, but a lower percentage, and people would die a lot from that and got really mad. So we balanced that a bit.
What is this?
This is a leveler. So it'll pick one of your external mutations and level it up, which also changes its appearance and ability. So in this case, he now has Armoring Legion, which means he can throw multiple Armorangs at once.
This is a good one.
Which is super cool.
Oh no!
Whoa.
There's a lot going on in here.
Quite a loadout going now.
He's got the laser pal. He's got a sword of rejection. He's got a crab butt and a multi-ring armoring legion and chronobellum. So the chronobellum does the time. It slows down time, but slows you down less, so you can react a little faster.
Except not.
Those guys are pretty tough. Those are the little tusks.
Ami DeRoche is very upset that you are making them think of crabs with butts.
I mean, one of the great equalizers in life is that everything has a but, right? And that could be a source of stress for you, or it could be a moment of joy to think that everything has a but.
Everything does have a butt. This is
Everything
true.
has a but.
Okay, let's see if I can get these guys to take over.
I mean, maybe something like a mantis shrimp. No, it's probably got a but.
Yeah.
Maybe some sort of.
Bam! See you again.
Nice. Rejection. Reflection.
Yes, and so now he's
Rhymes
locked.
you got there, Greg.
Rejection reflection.
Yeah, look at that. He's good. So he's locked in this this room here, and this will be where we activate the respirators in World 2. But he's got to defeat all these guys before he can do it. Luckily, he's got lots of range.
Oh, except those guys, I keep forgetting about the bomb shells.
Yeah, those guys are pretty easy to defeat if you can get a beat on them, especially with a range mutation. But they have a long range and all can sit and do indirect fire. See, but if you get close and hang out there, they'll actually do a stomp that's radial. So Kevin's trying to keep his distance. So he cleared the room, which opens the doors, and the respirator light turns on, meaning he can plug his vine guts into it and activate it. And ostensibly, these are some sort of atmospheric conditioning device that the Minders built. To what end, you only find out if you're playing the game a lot. The Minders also had butts, by the way. So when that happens, you can still explore that interior, or you could take the shortcut out, which kind of puts you near there, and you see it emerging, see it crowning from the terrain and lasering. Here you go. Oh, and
What is this?
this is one of the World 2 community. This is the Transfigured. So the Transfigured are other friendly folks who've been heavily mutated and kind of live. They have a lot of different outposts you can find, but they're kind of the shop owners out here. And this is Rain. Rain's got a fish head.
Person?
Fish person. That's
They're
right.
staring at the sky.
Yeah. Well, you know, they can't look down. Yeah.
Fish necks are not known for their range and flexibility.
Now, if you spend time around those fish, you'll see they actually balance on one foot and lean forward sometimes. And they still have like this vestigial memory of swimming somewhere in there. And so they kind of do air swimming. It's true. It's the little details that matter. So Kevin is trying to just motoring through this. We might have Kevin die if he passes this level, so that we can maybe try a daily challenge and see what other mutations we get before spoiling all.
Oh, wait, cook that meat. Cook that meat.
Cook the meat. Cook the meat. That's another hidden pro tip for you guys.
So close.
No, okay,
Is that
fine.
if you can get fire on meat, you get cooked meat, and if you cook your meat before eating it, you'll get an extra point of health. So. If you have the ability to generate fire through your mutations, it's a little easier. But you can also often get mutants to do it for you.
All right, let's see what we got.
Is it nearly 130?
It is 126. Oh man.
All right.
Keep going till.
Maybe till he gets the mini boss and whatnot.
Perfect.
Unless I just eat it here, because there's a.
You should have chronobellum that, Kevin.
I should have. You're right.
One of the challenges with the game is that you get a lot of power, but to use all the power, you have to learn to be adroit with all three buttons, however you've mapped them, and that's when you get it just right and you're in the flow. It's super satisfying, but it can also be quite challenging. You may find that even with three abilities, sometimes you're only able to use one or two until you get a little more familiar with the game. Oh, look at that! You just
Nice.
shut them out. But Kevin is.
Yeah, but that was kind of out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah, literally, because
That was a close one.
He's good.
burrow.
Use that
Oh, that's
That's pretty good though. That was a good run.
it. There it was, right on time. It's really what it was.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that was our
run, Kevin.
random
That was
run by
very
Kevin.
good.
Well done, Kevin.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, not bad. I mean,
Mutations in there.
yeah.
So,
We could have done better, but yeah, it's fine.
So are we gonna try one of the quirks or daily challenges?
You want to do it? Let's see. Do you want to see what the daily challenges? Do you know if it has a
Oh yeah, maybe we could.
I don't know if the daily challenge has a quirk today. We'll find out real quick.
We could always back out if it doesn't.
No quirk.
Well, we could see if it's. Yeah, you can back out and pick a quirk if you
Might
want.
get something interesting anyway.
We're gonna go back and pick a quirk so you can see a quirk.
What's your favorite quirk, Lee?
Well, I guess it depends on whether I'm just looking for a strange experience or like glass cannon. I like because you do double bat damage, but you have half the hearts. So if you're good at avoiding damage, it's really fun. You do a lot of one-hit kills with your bat, especially if you get a better bat later on.
And you'll get more
I guess you can't get
as you go eventually.
Yeah, but for things that make you play quite differently, Shark Style is pretty interesting. Shark Style, you take damage, you stop moving. There's a time period, but the enemies tend to have more health, more meat. So there's more meat, which is always good, and but you have to kind of keep moving. So that one's kind of fun as well. What do you like?
Should we do that, or just brittle, where you just? That's definitely a super challenge one. What's happened there?
I feel like you needed Fireheart last round. There's a lot of fire guys.
Hurt So Good is good too as well. That's for all of you masochists out there, which means pain makes you stronger. That's what they tell artists anyways. So as your hearts decrease, you do more and more damage. So if you can edge yourself right at that kind of one heart, then you can kind of do the most damage. But of course, if you make a mistake, you're dead. So.
Let's show off brittle.
Brittle.
Let's do brittle.
Let's do brittle. Brittle.
Is there any stuff that unlocks for subsequent runs?
There's a lot of
A lot of
stuff.
stuff that unlocks. Yeah, you're just not
that's
seeing it
crazy.
here
So
because we're
these-
already.
These
Yeah.
hearts won't regen.
Yeah, so those are what would normally be called a temp battle heart. If you buy them, but yeah. So each time you lose a piece, it never comes back. So this quirk is like you get a little more health to start with, but and you can still split and get more hearts, but
I don't know why we haven't unrecognized USB device.
yeah.
Hopefully not your controller.
So you can see the little icon there lets you know that you have this quirk as a reminder.
Yeah, and it also
But-
has hollow bones, which means that you get knocked back further if you're in a position to be knocked back.
So to answer the question earlier, after each run, you unlock a bunch of things. So you'll unlock the inventories that are like new items and inventories of shopkeepers and stuff. You unlock some characters that way, some bats that way, and player action will unlock other things. So that'll be like you can do specific actions to unlock farm features or the bank features or the town shop features. And if you do full successful runs, we have several endings that tell a larger meta story, and many of those come with other types of unlocks as well. So there's a lot of different vectors of unlock.
They say that the
You look like you're fine. Look at that.
Sky,
You're doing fine.
thousands of them
I hate these
all
guys.
were dead.
Oh, there you go. Using the karate kick. That's the best way to take out flyers. The challenge with the karate kick is that if you're doing it near the edge of cliffs, you can sometimes just do a nice kick right into.
Probably kicking yourself to death off the edge of a cliff is a cool way to
Ah!
go.
That's some good dodges.
He was
there.
trying to get this spin
no,
attack.
too bad. Oh boy.
One hard down.
Yeah, that's one
never
really
to come
gone.
back.
So you
So
can
yeah,
never
I
even pick
I
up
nearly went flying off.
new
So,
hearts.
say it.
You can never like grow a new
You
heart
can.
or split.
You can.
So you can get
Okay.
you get splits and grows, but the temp ones never come back, and so once they go away, you're just down to one health heart, which is not the best.
So Kevin was trying to get an annihilation bonus or a kill streak there. So speaking of unlocks and or scores in daily challenges is the kill streaks, which is when you kill a number of enemies within a time window, will give you extra points. You'll see them counting up and get a little speed buff for a while. Annihilations if you kill a bunch simultaneously, and so spin attacks good for that, or ground pounds, or there's a few other mutations. Pricks are good for that. That can really help you kind of take guys out simultaneously.
Let's see, I gotta knock these nests.
I think I was playing yesterday, and we do team playthroughs, and I was doing a team playthrough with the team, and I had the suck face mutation, which lets you drop a turret that pulls enemies towards it, and I also had what did I have with that? Oh, and I had a turret. I had home slice. But basically, what I would do is I had a wither. So when an Ember Snoot would shoot a fireball at me, I'd create a giant fire cloud by deploying wither into the fire. Then I'd suck all the enemies into it, and they'd all die at the same time. And I was getting like annihilations of like 6 and 7x,
Awesome.
and that gives you a lot more unlock points. Or in a daily challenge, it boosts your score as well. So yeah, that was really satisfying. Yeah.
Internal mutation.
So he's Insulator.
Insulator.
This one came out of also, this wasn't a specific request out of the closed beta, but something we saw is that in some of the weather patterns, we have lightning that randomly strikes, and a lot in the third world, and so that could really screw people up. And there was anything you do about it as a player, so we added an internal mutation that protects you not only from electric floors, but lightning. and that's the insulator mutation. So
You
that
say
one,
butt lightning?
but like, no, I didn't say it. That is a.
No, you said it. You said it.
I think you did.
I think you
said
heard
butt
what you
lightning.
wanted to hear.
So that would imply that lightning has a butt too, and I did say everything has a butt.
that it comes
there
from
it
a-
is, full circle.
What would that help have done? Nothing, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, which is why I've left it behind because I can't really heal. That's kind of the dynamic.
However, I will say,
brittle
without
gives.
spoiling anything, there are things that you can do with consumables that you can't consume in some
True.
levels. There's a thing you can do with them that maybe gets you something else.
That's true. I've
some hidden
also
stuff.
resisted doing that, but
Yeah, we're not shown at all. We want to. For me, at least, when I play games like this with procedural generation or randomness, part of the joy is finding the hidden stuff. So it's nice to show some of it, but you don't want to spoil all of it because it feels really great when you discover it for yourself.
let's see.
At least for me. Sometimes I'm impatient though, and I watch
Of course.
streams, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's how I do that thing.
Oh,
I mean, I
the
played a lot of
hell.
this game, and I'm still seeing stuff I've never seen. It's got a lot in it, and I think just because the many combinations that can come out of it too.
And also because they're still making it.
Sure, they keep adding things.
And also, yeah. Oh, there's a
Yes.
happy fruit, which will do you no good.
No good.
But
Yeah, I know.
you could take it back to town. Were you playing this game without having upgraded the farm and give it to the goat man and see what he does with it? Goat
True.
boy, Billy.
Billy.
Billy is his name.
Billy likes to farm. He's the farmer.
Where are your respirators?
There it is.
Billy has a great hidden character art detail that you can discover if you pause the game when you're close by him, because the camera goes into a little rotation around him. I won't spoil it for him, but if you're so inclined to pause the game in town when you're standing near the goat boy, you will be not disappointed, I
Oh
think.
man, now I gotta see this.
It's all in support of my
does
previous
it do with butts?
thesis about butts.
Yes.
Yes, it is. It is.
So we're not confirming goat butt in the game, but we are neither denying goat butt is in the game.
This is a crazy thing you're doing here, guys.
See, yeah, that was the pro move there. He wanted that key.
playing with fire.
He is. Playing with toxic goo.
Yeah.
All right, we're in another situation where the
Down? No.
Or you think it's up? Oh, well, they already did one up.
Top left.
Top left. Oh, there's. I looked there.
Did you?
I did because there's
Oh, that's
nothing behind
respirator.
the
Yeah,
rest.
sure, no.
Nothing
Yeah.
behind there. I might have missed an exit in that.
Or it could be lower left. Could be.
Oh yeah, there's a little.
Could be. Search your corners first for the fast runs.
Yeah, and normally there it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
who's
normally
right?
I would. Normally
Maybe the
I
guy
would-
who made the level.
Yeah, you might know a thing or
That's
two.
there for you. Just look at the corners. That's my pro tip. Look in your corners.
I feel like that's a life tip.
Look in the corners.
Well, just look in your corners. Just be aware of your corners.
Don't make eye contact with strangers. I learned that riding public transportation here in San Francisco. That's my other one.
Yeah.
That's my other life tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a terrible thing to say.
All right, let's see what we got this time. Okay. Oh, this is not a great one. I'm not a fan
You
of
got
this.
use your home slice.
I should use it.
Just carry around your back like a little baby, but he can be useful. So the home slice has a couple of things going on with him. So if you leave him on your back, he spits out the back at enemies, doing a little bit of damage, which is useful, but not like a huge game changer at his base state. If you drop him, he's a turret and can not only shoot enemies that way, but also acts as a distraction. In a boss arena, there's not a whole lot of protected places to drop him. But the other thing you can do is, if after you drop him, you hit the button again, he will explode. So you can also use him as a landmine. And that can be helpful if enemies go up to attack him. So you're like, boom, and you did some damage to that. So there's a lot of different things you can do with your home slice. My favorite part about the home slice really is that I got to do a lot of little weird sounds for him. Like that. And then also he uses his tongue to turn, like if you look, he has his tongue out and turns his hat around during some animation. Because that's how you know he means business, he flips the hat around.
Right.
Man, this brittle bone thing is really stressing me out.
Oh, we got him though. Home
You
slice got
here,
him.
though. So.
Yeah, see the home slice did the killing blow on that.
But I gotta wait for the
Oh,
fire.
looks like
to
you
go.
got a toxic heart they got dropped too. Multi-toxic heart, so
That's helpful.
if he consumes that, he now has a non-regenerating.
And now I will have 2 health when all those battle hearts go.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right, are we at the end of our stream
I think
time?
that's
I
it.
think we might be.
And we're gonna get kicked out of this room
Can't
because
show it all off.
now people have important meetings to happen here.
Yeah, but it's coming out when?
It'll be out on August 20th on PC, Steam, Xbox One, PS4, and Switch.
Hooray.
Yes, we're looking forward to
Everywhere.
everyone playing it.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Exciting.
And we localize in like a million languages too, so hopefully.
Because Karate Kick with Home Slice.
And you can
is
pre-order
how you go out.
right now, I believe.
Pre-orders open on all platforms except for Switch, which is coming along a little later, and we will tweet that. It'll be released on the same day, but the Switch timing, Switch pre-order timing is a little different. But if you pre-order, we also have some. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer, but there's some cool bonuses. We have 2 unique character styles that you get that are themed based around arcade playing, and also some Bandai Namco properties, and also a arcade bat that. I won't spoil it, but it makes some amazing sounds and visual effects when you hit things with it. So,
Very cool.
yeah.
If you want to watch more RAD, there should be people streaming it through the weekend, I guess, because the
Yes.
base is going to go on until Monday. So,
And can people still sign up?
nope.
I think unfortunately we've been doing it for a while. At some point we gotta ship this thing.
I think the
Alright.
last
Fix the
drop was
fundamentals.
yesterday or
Yesterday.
today.
Yeah.
All right, then pre-order the game. You'll get it soon.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks.
Catch us.